This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for February 23rd, 2021. Your daily entertainment headlines, industry info, and everything rock. Sponsored by the Maine Hair Lounge, 393 Worcester Road in Framingham. If you want rockin' hair, log on to mainhairlounge.com. It's been a few years since Kid Rock released his last album, Sweet Southern Sugar, but it looks like he has a new record on the way. Taking part in Riff's 50th anniversary in Detroit, he said, quote, "I haven't had this feeling since my first big record, Devil Without a Cause, where I've had this much time to sit around and rewrite, zero in, replay, and just meticulously go song to song." He continued, "I've got about 18 songs that I'm in love with and 4 more that I want to record. And I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with them, but thank God I've got a studio, and that's been my saving grace through this whole thing." Always outspoken, Dee Snyder has something to say about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame committee, saying, quote, "The Rock and Roll Hall committee members are arrogant, elitist assholes who look down on metal and other bands that sell millions because they're not their definition of cool. The fan vote is they're throwing a bone to the peasants. I want to say F you, but I want them to have to deal with us." That should serve as a reminder that fan voting is still open for the nominees for induction into the class of 2022. Alex Trebek's son, Matt, is giving more details on the family's decision to donate the late game show host wardrobe to charity. All of his suits were donated to the Doe Fund, a nonprofit organization that provides work, career training, housing opportunities, and more that have struggled with addiction, homelessness, and incarceration. In an interview with Good Morning America, his son said, "This kind of just fits into what he believed in, passing along kindness to others, so it's nice to see that it still continues even after he's gone." Corey Taylor has made it very clear that he is not a fan of young, modern rock bands that lack any identity. In an interview with Cutter's Rockcast, he said that he was annoyed by young bands that straight up jack their sound from older bands, saying, quote, "I look at some of these bands that sound like or look like or sound like the other guy, and it's just like, well, they obviously listened to 2 albums that have been out for a minute. But the ones that really frustrate me are the ones that take something that's been around forever and just basically rework it and call it new, even though it's completely derivative." He went on to admit that he was just a big old grumpy grandpa, and he added, quote, "I hate all new rock for the most part. I hate the artists who failed in one genre and decided to go rock, and I think he knows who he is," insinuating Machine Gun Kelly, obviously. Dave Mustaine from Megadeth has been in the studio cutting vocals, and a big announcement is coming at some point today, that he is splitting with Dean Guitars for a partnership with Gibson. He's been partnered with Dean since 2006 and ESP before that, but a full announcement is expected sometime today. Soundgarden have released a new statement through their lawyers implying that the Chris Cornell estate and Vicky Cornell, quote, hijacked the band's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram account. Soundgarden's legal team issued a statement saying, quote, "As requested by the estate of Chris Cornell and as required by the laws of the state of Washington, the surviving members of Soundgarden submitted to the Cornell estate 4 months ago a buyout offer of the estate's interests in Soundgarden calculated by respected music industry valuation expert Gary Cohen." Now, speaking of Soundgarden, Taylor Momsen talking about the new Pretty Reckless album, Death by Rock and Roll, that was released this month. Soundgarden members Kim Thayil and Matt Cameron lent their talents to the song Only Love Can Save Me Now. The song was recorded in Seattle's London Bridge studios. Writing the song side by side with her musical heroes, Taylor Momsen said, quote, "The sessions were the highlight of my musical life. Spotify listeners can now stream former President Obama and Bruce Springsteen, who have teamed up for a wide-ranging Spotify podcast. The 8 episodes called Renegades Born in the USA were recorded over several days in Springsteen's Jersey Shore farmhouse." And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, click the links in the show notes of this podcast. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss anything. New full-length episodes every Wednesday. Episode 37, featuring Lance Dowdle from Ashes to New, is available now.